Welcome to the yoga method and your mobility practice for today. Come and join me when you're ready in Malasana, Yogi squat. Remembering that Yogi squat can look many different ways depending on how our body is feeling. So I'd like for you to begin with your feet hip distance. And just begin by bending your knees and seeing how that's feeling for your body today. So just do a little lift of your hips as you breathe in your chest, and on your exhalation, bend your knees. So if it's feeling accessible, we can come all the way down into that deeper variation and then lifting again. Hands can be just interlaced through your fingers. And of course, if we need the support of our hands, they are always there to add comfort and stability and a little bit of scaffolding. So let's do two more, choosing the shape that feels perfect for you today. One more time. And at the end of this one, wherever you are, just pausing and staying, please. Take your left hand to your right ankle, take your right hand to your right knee, and just wiggle your shoulder in between, pressing gently with your right hand to open the inner thigh and also the back of the pelvis. I'm also using my left shoulder, my torso, to encourage my left knee wide. Your eye gaze can be where it feels best to you as we stay for two more breaths. One more full breath in. And on the exhalation, gently release. Peace fingers are going to hook into our big toe. And our in-breath will lift our chest. And on our exhalation, we'll lift our hips. So pistol grip your toes, bend as far as your body will allow as you open through the throat. And on the exhalation, hips high, but we can keep the heart lifted. Last two, deepening into ankle, knee, and hip flexion. And then lifting pelvis and bowing ourselves in maybe a little bit this time. Last one, how low do you want to go? Just see how your knees and ankles and hips are feeling. And then as we lift, please take a moment here to tuck the chin and gently bow yourself in. Feet are slightly turned out. We're using our hands and the strength of our abdominals to gently draw us a little bit deeper. Just one more breath, please. And when the time is right for you, lift your heads, and on your exhalation, release your hands off of your feet as you come back to your version of Malasana. So second side, right hand finds your shin, your ankle, and then left hand gently on the knee. So just pressing with the hand and using our shoulder, right shoulder, to open the right thigh wide. So just a little gentle mobilization into the back of both hips, but targeting the left hip this time. Just stay and breathe. Maybe turning to look over your left shoulder if your cervical spine will allow. Never forcing the body. Just breathing into sensation and pulling back if the body needs us to. One more full, deep, smooth breath in. And when the time is right, releasing your eyes, releasing your hands. As we lift the hips this time, slide the hands underneath your feet so the toes are pressing into the crease of your wrist. Take a breath in. Remember, however the shape looks for you, and you won't be able to go quite as far. So just bowing into the amount of lumbar flexion and hamstring lengthening. And then bending the knees. It feels a little vicarious, this one, so be careful. Lifting hips, releasing head. Let's just do one more of this very odd shape. So it's a variation of Parahastasana. Stay and breathe here. So we pull with the hands, we press with the feet, and we use the abdominals to draw us a little bit deeper. Just one more full breath in. And out. On the in-breath, lifting the head, the heart. On the exhalation, we release our hands and we'll heel to our feet super duper wide. Our block is ready to support us as we begin to explore our side lunge or Skandasana. So option 1, block on the high end. Variation 2, medium. Variation 3, low. But we're just moving from one side to the other. And you'll notice as I shift my weight to the right, I turn my right toes out so my knee and my toes are tracking the same direction. And as I return, I turn them inwards before turning the left toes out. So if you don't need your block, please feel free to remove it. But keeping the spine really lifted, the heart really buoyant, and we're moving to the point where we feel just that gentle stretch along the adductors, along the inner thigh. Some of us will also feel it in the hamstring as well. The trailing leg for me, I also feel it through my glute med, through my TFL, which makes no sense. I think it just means I've probably got a trigger point there today. So one more each way. Last one to your left, pause and hold. And as we shift back to the right, again, the invitation to use your block, the invitation to use the floor, or see if we can use no hands at all. And then rolling the toes up, finding this really beautiful, dynamic, strengthening, lengthening posture for 2 more breaths, please. One more full deep breath in, engaging your quadriceps, and then use your hands or not to lightly land in a seated position. Make any adjustment you need as we take a breath in together. And on your exhalation, just turning towards your left foot as the right knee rolls in. Inhaling to open back. And you might find you just need your hands to help you. So making the adjustment, just hands where they feel most supportive for you. And if you don't feel like you need your hands, just keep them interlaced, please. One more little variation as we pivot. Maybe you reach towards your foot. Inhale to open. Exhale, pivot and reach. One more time. Playing with movement, playing with shapes. And as we come in this last time, we're going to stay. So listen, variation 1, bend this knee as much as you need. Hands on the thigh, the shin, or the foot. Variation 2, lengthen it a little bit more. And if you're working on your bind, it is your right hand across the sole of your left foot, holding onto your left wrist with your index finger and thumb. We roll the right ribs towards the left inner thigh, and we're gazing at our right big toe as we draw the toes back, on the left. If the leg is quite long, then I encourage you to engage your quadriceps on your left thigh. It'll inhibit your hamstring, meaning it'll make it relax a little bit more. But we're also strengthening the opposing side, the synergistic energy between one side strengthening and one side lengthening. One more full breath in and out. And on our in breath, we'll lift our heads, our hearts. And as we come out of this shape, everyone will decide what's possible through this hip joint now. So option 1, we might stay with this knee bent, holding onto our shin for some support. Variation 2, leg is long, and we're taking our hands behind us to see if we can open through the front of this right hip joint a little bit more. Whew, mine's talking already. And then anything goes. So your block again could support your back, your elbows could land, and then we're just pressing this hip. So we're trying to square the pelvis a little bit. So hip flexor, quadricep, definitely feeling that. But if you're feeling any discomfort in your knee, I want you to come out of it immediately. So not appropriate to feel it in your knee. If you feel it in your knee, I'd like for you to take this shape instead. And if it's feeling good, just stay exactly as you are. So from there, maybe the opportunity to lengthen a little bit deeper. If your head is hanging off the floor like mine, you'll have to use your deep neck flexors to keep you there, or one hand behind your head. So keep encouraging your right knee towards the earth. Pelvic floor is engaged, a little tone through our core, of course. And this right glute is active. Again, if I activate the back of my hip, it brings more opening and more relaxation to the front of the hip. Find your happy place as you stay and breathe for 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath, please. And however you get out of this, it's perfect. It doesn't need to be graceful or pretty, but once we arrive safely back here, we are then going to roll this knee back to the starting position. So tucking in, maybe you're using your hands to come back to your skandasana. Maybe you can transition without using your hands. So block is ready to come with us. We'll lift through the hips. We'll transition to the other side. So variation 1, hand on the block. Variation 2, no block needed. Hands on the earth. And variation 3, reaching hands. That option to descend lower. And if you're balancing on your toes, please ground your hands because you're working much harder than me. So it's dorsiflexion through the ankle joint. That limits the ability to land the heel. And this particular position definitely helps our dorsiflexion. But over time, just be gentle, consistent. There'll be some shifts, some change, some transformations that occur. One more deep breath in before we gently land on our hips using our hands or not. And when you're ready, it's that gentle little bit of internal rotation through the femur. And then opening back to our starting position. Breathe in to find your length, please. Breathe out to gently revolve. And as we explored on the first side, maybe you need your hands for some support. So there's nothing wrong with that. I want you to feel safe, challenged, but safe always. And there should never be pain. So pain is never appropriate. Mild sensation in the muscle, beautiful. Any sensation that's intense, never appropriate, especially if it's in the joint. So please, variation 1, using your hands, variation 2, release, and variation 3, you're deepening into that hamstring at the same time. Inhaling to open as far as your body will allow. Exhale to turn and maybe reach. So be long through the spine, be strong through the core, and never sacrificing our posture or our breath to go further than the body is ready to go. There's one more. So when we turn and reach, we're going to stay right here. So option 1 again, that encouragement of bent knee so we can keep the spine lifted and the heart open. Option 2, lengthening the leg. And variation 3, if you're working on your bind, it is your left hand across the sole of your right foot with your index finger and thumb holding on to your right wrist. We roll the left ribs towards the right inner thigh, and our drishti, our focal point, is our big toe to keep a little bit of extension in our neck, our cervical spine. Please engage your quadricep if you can. And taking 2 more breaths, please. One more full, deep, smooth breath in and out. When you're ready, lift your heads, lift your hearts. As we transition out of the shape, we're exploring opening into more hip extension. Remembering if there's knee pain, that is never appropriate, and you are invited to tuck your foot into a Janu Shirshasana A position instead. If it feels good, take a moment here just to square the shoulders towards your right foot and just ease your way back any amount that your body will allow. So option 1, hands are just here supporting us. And over time, if it feels like there's a little bit more space become available, we take it and then we pause at the new end point. On your right leg, point your toes. And we're keeping that activation in our left glute to inhibit, to relax the front of our left thigh. A little tone in your pelvic floor and your core to support your spine. And if it feels like there's been a little bit more room come open to you, you'll lower all the way down. You can change your mind, right? So if you've lowered down and you're like, oh, this is not where I need to be, or you're holding your breath, just ease your way out. So long through your right leg, pressing your left knee to the earth, actioning through your left glute. Tone in the pelvic floor, gentle tone in the abdominals as we draw the navel in And then please, sounds ridiculous, but don't forget to breathe. Taking 2 more smooth, slow breaths in through the nose. How slowly can you breathe out through your nose? One more goodbye breath in and out. However you rise, perfect. Celebrate it. And then we'll turn back towards the long edge of our mat, tucking that foot in, using your hands to lift yourself back up into Skandasana, or maybe trying to transition without your hands. Just one more breath in before we gently release our hands and come to the midline place. So from here, we're just exploring our middle split, and I use that term really loosely because we're not endeavoring to get anywhere into a split. We're just widening our stance. The block can support you, and you just keep taking up any space that is being offered. If it feels like you could come to your forearms, you will. And if you're slipping off your mat like I am, please readjust if you need to. So pressing down into your hands, opening up through your shoulders, energizing your legs any amount that is available. Quadriceps are on, and the breath. The breath hopefully is still smooth and soft and deep and mindful. There's just 2 more breaths remaining. Frog pose never looks so appealing. Are you ready to go there? Shift forward, land your knees, tuck your feet back, and please just exploring 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees, and dorsiflexion through your ankles, rounding through your spine if it's feeling intense, and shift forward. Lift through your heart and shift your tailbone back if you feel like you need a little bit more. And then from here, we're just going to take a little walk with our elbows leading towards our left knee, and we'll feel an immediate increase through our our right inner thigh. You might feel it a little bit in your sacroiliac joint too. And if it feels like there's room, I've sort of run out of floor, but you could lower down and reach forward. So lowering chest and reaching long with your arms, almost like a child's pose position with your arms. So take 2 more breaths into your right lung, your right inner thigh. One more, please. And then ease your way over, a little promenade, going for a stroll, over towards your right inner thigh. And once you feel that gentle increase in stretch, normally it'll be on the opposing side. So side flexing to your right will bring more length to the left side body. And normally you'll feel a little bit of sparkle, a little extra sensation in your left adductors, your left inner thigh muscles. Remember that opportunity to lower your head and reach long if you've got enough floor to do that. But wherever you are, just basking in this sensation for another 3 breaths, please. Wherever you go, there you are, right, Dr. Seuss? So be here now, be present in your body, be present with the sensation, and really sinking into it rather than avoiding it. One last breath before we return to the midline, finding these last 2 breaths. One more full, deep, generous breath in and out. And when the time is right for you to come out of this, hands beneath your shoulders, press the earth away, lift your hearts, your toes come in, your knees come in, and then we'll just finish with a few breaths in Sukhasana. So right leg in front of left for a moment, and finding lift and length through your spine. I'm going to turn the other way. So hands resting on your knees, closing down the eyes, And then please just find a little drawing in of your chin, a little softening of your shoulders. And please feel your body celebrating your efforts, giving thanks for this body, this day, for this lifetime, and the practices that we share, and the technology that allows us to be a global community. Let your hands rise to Anjali Mudra. Bless your own body. And we take one last unified breath, sending our blessings out into the world as we close our practice with a bow. Namaste.